Hey folks, Sega Sonic fan here, just doing a real quick video on an iPhone 6 screen repair. This is actually for the button. I have the rest of the parts in the other room, but someone gave me this iPhone 6, very nice friend of mine, because they weren't going to get any money trading it in. Apple doesn't really pay much of anything anymore, and they didn't want it to go in the junk or whatever, so they were nice enough to give it to me. And the screen was cracked though, so I had to take the button out and put it in this new screen here. Now, the reason I had to do that is because this button for the iPhone 6 is not just a button, it's a full circuit with a unique identifier for the touch sensor and possibly some other things. So you really do have to take it out of your old screen if you're going to do this kind of a repair. There might be other ways to get around it, but I don't need to do that because I have the original button. However, my friend told me that the original button was kind of acting up, kind of janky, so we had to do just a real quick, easy repair. And I know there's a lot of videos on this, but I thought I'd just make one just to show people, just another take on it, because some of the videos, they just assume you have these like really nice tools and everything's super easy, and they make it look so easy, and it's really not. First and foremost, you have to have a very, very fine, and I mean very fine, Phillips screwdriver. A lot of times when you buy the parts, they'll come with little mini screwdrivers you can use, and I recommend going that route because getting the two screws out here to get the button out, I mean, they are damn small, so you can't even do it with a typical, I don't even think I was able to do it with my typical Husky, which is a multi-bit, screwdriver that I use for almost everything. So that's step number one. Step number two that I found to be something to really look out for, and I like to make videos for people where there's kind of booby traps and stuff to give people a heads up, and that is if you look at our little protection, or not our protection, this is just the circuit board here, there's these two nubs, and let me try to point stuff out. Let's see, and actually, you know what? I could use the microscope here to assist. I'm going to do that actually. Put this on my microscope bench dealio here, and we'll take a look. So there's our button, and here is our circuit board deal. I'm going to go ahead and maybe lower some of the brightness here, just a few settings for you all to see things better. Yeah, that's a lot clearer. So yeah, we got that circuit board, and there's this little nubbin, I don't even know what these are called, just a little plastic nub here, and there's one down here as well. Now the thing is, under this board is an adhesive, and so if you originally, you do need to unplug it, of course, and the plug is right here, as you can see. It's a standard FPC type plug. And yeah, you want to be careful because you can unplug that, which is great and all, but that's not going to help you. Sorry, I'm still trying to fix the lighting here. Yeah, there we go. Looks a little bit better, I think. So here's where it plugs in, and so it's hard to do holding the phone. Yeah, but the plug is right here. It unplugs. Now, if you just pull on this ribbon right here, you're going to have some problems. Oh, interesting. The phone is, I was like, why is this, the glass is so smooth. The phone is like slowly sliding off my microscope table. That's funny. I was like, that's really weird. So yeah, if you just pull on this ribbon, you'll actually run a really good chance of ripping it and damaging it, which is very easy to do. Same goes for the other side here, where you have, let's see if this, okay, getting lighting a little better here. So same goes for the other side. It's just black on black, so it's hard to see, where you have this ribbon right here as well. And you don't want to just pull up on that, because if it doesn't pull up this whole board, what it's going to do is going to rip that ribbon right there. So the way I was able to do this, and this might not work for everyone, I can't believe this is sliding down, that's hilarious. That glass is super smooth. Sorry for the shaky camera, doing my best here. The way I went about this, oh, come on, is I got some decent tweezers, and I found if you start from under here, there's no adhesive, and work your way under it like that with some tweezers. And get, very gently get kind of to the center of the Tootsie Roll, which is under the middle is where the most adhesive is. And of course, there's also a QR code deal under there as well. Once you do that, though, your hardship is not yet over because this is an Apple product and you need to suffer. And that is, you have the membrane that holds down the outer perimeter of this button, and that's to keep like gunk and contaminants out of the button. If I take another button here, you can see it's it's just that black stuff all around it. It's kind of flexible, and yeah, it's just a seal. It's a membrane seal around the button, and so what you have to do for that is use a hot air gun, hot air station, something like this that I have. You do have to have something that has controlled heat, and preferably, a smaller nozzle. So I would not recommend using, a blow dry or anything like that. I set mine to around 250 when I did this, 240. It's not super specific, but you do need to heat it up for a few seconds very carefully, and then very, very gently push on the other side. Push the button down like you were going to use it, but push it in all the way and try to work in at a corner at a time. Because that's the only way to loosen the adhesive under there. You really can't get tweezers under there. I wasn't able to do it. So that tip was, again, I've been watching some videos on this. Also, iFixit has a really nice teardown guide. You can check that out. So that was helpful for sure. But I thought I'd make this video because these are some booby traps that Apple put in place, or whatever, however you want to describe it, that could really trip people up and make them damage their one of a kind button with your special fingerprint sensor. So really be careful working around that membrane. Once you get the button out, like I did with my friends, this thing was full of gunk. It was real gross. And this is the front membrane, actually. Let me show you the actual. Did I already put the button back in? The actual button, which is let's get the top of it over here. So this guy, and you'll see it's actually, the membrane's been removed from it, and that already had happened, actually. It was already just off on the old one. The new one, it was still intact, the one on the screen. But you look here, you'll see the QR code that's under that circuit board, and then here's the button. Now, his button wasn't working, and I think part of the reason is there was just gunk all around the edge of it, and you see a tiny bit left with the microscope, but it's not real bad. And so the way to clean that, you really do need to clean it if you're going to make the button function. One thing I'll say before you clean it, though, is you can always check the functionality of a button by just clicking the dome there and see if it has a nice spring to it. You don't want to do this a lot because it's not designed for your fingernail or whatever you're going to be pushing on it. But just, give it one or two taps, see if it actually is functioning well. In this case, it is, and I think most cases it probably is functioning fine. But what the problem becomes is that you get a bunch of gunk around the outer perimeter of the plastic, and so it can't debounce all the way. It can't come all the way. It can't rise all the way to give you that full range of motion, and so that's what creates the mechanical problem. So the way to fix that's pretty easy, fortunately. All you need is some isopropyl alcohol. I recommend always just getting something over 90%. I don't endorse Walgreens, big evil corporation, but that's what was close to me. Anyway, yeah, definitely get over 90%. There's no reason to ever use the 70% stuff. Like, you save like $1, and all you're going to do is have to get 90% later on. The 70% stuff, I don't even know why they sell it, to be honest. It's got a lot of gunk in it, and especially for electronics, it's not good. I kind of wonder if it's that good for wounds either. But you're going to need some 90% isopropyl alcohol, and you're going to need some Q-tips. And you can see these Q-tips are pretty nasty from the cleaning work I was doing. Yeah, you see that? My workbench is also kind of gross from other work. But yeah, that's all just from cleaning the outer perimeter of this one button. Look at that. Pretty gross. So yeah, you want to get in there, clean that button up real nice. And once you do that, you should be in business. and you should have a nice good button. Just put it back in place. I wouldn't worry too much about resealing that membrane. If you want, you can, but if anyone wants to post, let me know, like a good adhesive for that. Be interested to know. But I imagine if you mess around using adhesives, you could do a lot more harm than good, so I'm not going to try to do that. We'll give it one last clean with the alcohol, and then I think it's going to be good to go. I think I'll be all set after this. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. Again, use the heat gun. Be very careful going up with tweezers around that nub to remove the board adhesive. And like I said, I know there's a lot of videos on this kind of stuff, but I made this one because no one specifically talked about these two issues kind of in detail, and I thought it would be really helpful. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you. I don't really care if you subscribe or anything like that. These videos are just to help people. And yeah, have fun fixing stuff and bringing new life to e-waste and old electronics. This is Sega Sonic Fan, signing out.